As everyone can see today, the first steps toward a brighter day for the Middle East and a much safer future for the world are unfolding right before your very eyes. Together we are in a position to have an incredible chance. I don't even call it a chance. I think it's going to happen. To end decades of suffering, stop generations of hatred and bloodshed, and forge a beautiful, everlasting, and glorious peace for that region and for the whole region of the world, because I'm calling the world a region. The world is a region. We're going to have peace in the world. And boy, would that be a great legacy for all of us. Everybody in this room is a star.
Where's the money going to come from? And who's going to award the contracts?
I think it's going to cost a lot of money.
What's a lot of money?
The estimates are in the $50 billion range. It might be a little bit less. It might be a little bit more. Money raising, we think, is the easy part. We think that happens relatively quickly. But it's the master plan, and we're working with a group of people who have been working on master plans for the last 2 years.
So there are plans already.
We have plans already. We have a master plan already. And by the way, and Jared's been pushing this, and we're working together on it. And I think if the world saw the progress so far, they'd be pretty impressed.
So we did a master plan. We brought in, I think, Yakir Gabay, who's one of the most successful real estate developers and brilliant people I know. He's volunteered to do this, not for profit, really because of his heart. He wants to do this. And we've developed ways to redevelop Gaza. Gaza, as President Trump's been saying, has amazing potential. And this is for the people of Gaza. We've developed it into zones. In the beginning, we were toying with the idea of saying, let's build a free zone, and then we have a Hamas zone. And then we said, you know what, let's just plan for catastrophic success. Hamas signed a deal to demilitarize. That is what we are going to enforce. People ask us what our plan B is. We do not have a plan B. We have a plan. We signed an agreement. We are all committed to making that agreement work. There's a master plan. We'll be doing it in phasing. In the Middle East, they build cities like this in 2-3 million people. They build this in 3 years. And so stuff like this is very doable if we make it happen.
And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Revelation chapter 17, verse 18. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. Right, so Brother Aharon coming back at you with a quick lesson, low, let it be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. All right, I'm going to jump straight into it. All right, I have this article here just coming from Davos, Switzerland, and this is actually dated today. All right, Thursday, Thursday, January 22nd, 2026. Okay, and of course, you see, if you've been paying attention to, or anyone who's been watching these these Davos conference that they hold in, it's pretty much like modern day Bilderberg meetings, but when it was during the time of the Bilderbergs, it was a secret thing, right? You had to, I remember watching videos of, back then it was like Alex Jones and Luke Rudkowski and all these guys who they would, follow, they'll go to the venue, right? And then you see all these cars and all these so-called diplomats in suits and ties and just hopping out their cars and trying to be hiding and sneaky, and then you see one person, oh, this person, the CEO of this company, or this person, the CEO of that company. All right. That was back then. That's over a decade ago. Shit, probably like almost 20 years ago. Okay. And you watch these things and you be like, yo, this is this person here and he owns this person and they own this company and they do this and they influence in this and so on and so forth. And then, of course, you have that infamous video of Luke Rudkowski pulling up onto Jacob Rothschild and basically telling him, like that whole, who you televising for? That's where that comes from. All right. He was nervous. He's like, yeah, we just want to let you know we the people are not going to sit for this and your New World Order is not going to work. And then Rothschild got stuck. He's like, well, and then he just looked at him and he just kind of like turned away and then started walking away mad fast and shit. And I don't think ever since then, you don't see that nigga, we wouldn't see Rothschild walking around in public like that anymore after that event. And then, of course, a few years ago, he passed away. The Lord took him up out of here. But, he gonna be serving his time soon. All right. It's only for a short time that he's going to be out of here. All right. But you fast forward to today. All right. 2026. And all this stuff that we used to call out and we used to tell people that these are, they call it conspiracy theories. Come to find out, these things are all real. All right. And the conspiracy theorists are still 100% correct when it comes to all these things that we said was going to be happening. All right, the things that were happening, we were reporting on it, and we were looked at as crazy. And now all of a sudden, everybody's a conspiracy theorist. Everybody's questioning things. Everybody's noticing things. You're 20, 30 years late, 40 years late, 50 years late. Okay, if you're now just realizing these things, and now you got people doing videos, talking about exposing this and exposing that. Listen, man, we're too late in the game, bruh. All right, this thing is over. Okay, and we're entering into the time of pivotal biblical end time prophecies. Okay, this is where you're going to start seeing the fire rising. This is where you're going to see things pick up. All right, I did a lesson. Was it the one I posted up? I think this morning, and I saw a comment on there. I didn't really. I typically, when I read comments, unless it's something that I have to respond to, I typically just ignore it. Especially this type of comment. All right, brothers and sisters, shalom and all that. So that's love. I shalom you back. But when you got this, these kind of people on the comment section. All right, I forget what he said. Let me see if I could find it. He said something about this has nothing to do with God or religion or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, because you don't understand prophecy. You have no idea, all right, what's going on in terms of prophecy. Okay, you have no idea what's going on in terms of prophecy. You have no clue. And those are the people. All right, let me see if I can get that real quick. Let's see. In 2 Thessalonians. Oh, shit, hold on. So the book of 2 Thessalonians. Let me see if I could get that real quick here. Okay, it's not pulling up here. Let me go to it. 1 second. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. There you go. It's the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, actually start off at verse 10. It says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish. Okay, as Ezra mentioned in the book of 2nd Ezra, that what he said, so Lord, let them perish that were born in vain. Okay, so the perishing is those who are going to be destroyed. All right, they're going to find their way straight to destruction. It says, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Okay, that they might be saved. So you didn't accept the truth. Okay, the truth that's being taught to you by the prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, starting from my elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down. Okay, every single day you're getting, all right, the actual information and not no propaganda. Okay, everything that you see outside of the biblical truth is all propaganda, especially if you're getting it from Esau's media or whatever. All this data shit. You got some clown talking about, if you pay attention to the data, you're going to see something completely different from. But listen, bro, they've been telling us data and data and data, this, trust the science, this, and what did it lead to? Where did you end up at? Did it put more money in your pockets? Huh? Did it make you more free? Did it give you more power, more independence, more freedoms? No. They dated you, data this, data that, all the way to you take that C-hip. That's what's coming. All right. Anyway, so continue, it says, and for this cause, the Most High shall send them strong delusion. Okay, it means to be greatly deceived. Okay, strong delusion that they should believe a lie. All right, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. So if you come up on our comment boards and you telling us about how much you don't believe and how you think what we're saying is crazy and all this extra shit, the message isn't for you, right? You just came across the message, but it's not for you. You are now condemned. Okay, because you've heard the word and you didn't repent. As a matter of fact, you came against the word, so you already condemned yourself. All right, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is going to deal with you. Okay, but our job is to just give the prophecies. All right, explain it, make it plain upon tables. Okay, so the elect can hear it. All right, understand it, repent, be sealed, and get ready for the return of our Lord. Okay, that's what we're here for. Everybody else, everything else doesn't matter to us. Okay, and we're just marching on according to what biblical prophecy is saying. All right. And this right here is a very big point in prophecy. I'm going to read it. It says, Trump, along with world leaders, signed Gaza Board of Peace Charter. Okay, Board of Peace Charter. And just a couple of weeks ago, all right, I believe before he attacked Venezuela, okay, and kidnapped the president, okay, stole that shit, stole that, right? Before he did all that, um, he was saying something about, oh, this is a peace on earth, right? Peace on earth, everything they do is inverted, okay? So when they say peace, understand that it's about war. You can't say it's peace on earth and then you rename your Department of Defense, all right, as Department of War. you can't, it's oxymoronic, okay? So all the oh, this is peace on earth and the border of peace and all this extra shit. This is what they call a master plan, the Gaza master plan. And the same guy who's behind it, Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law, he was at the Davos meeting and he discussed that master plan, something that they had in works 2 years prior to this year. Okay, they had it in works even before the whole October 7th thing that happened with the whole Hamas thing that's all made up by the IDF and all of them. Okay, the Mossad and all that. We know that they came up with all this shit. When you think of Hamas, like imagine this, a terrorist group that for some reason you have all this high-tech information and surveillance and all this extra shit. And we're made to believe that the same Hamas terrorists that you're looking for can actually pop up on a CNN interview and give a whole full-blown interview and tell you about how they're trying to negotiate how to release the hostages. Like, what the fuck? And people actually believe this dumbass shit. They sit there, watch the TV, and believe it. You can't tell these people anything, man. Let's read. It says, President Donald Trump unveiled his International Board of Peace and presided over a signing ceremony at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, where multiple world leaders agreed to pursue a lasting agreement for Gaza, according to Fox News. And we know this is just a ploy. This whole Gaza thing is a test for them to push around the whole entire planet. They want to make the whole entire planet blue. All right, in the words of Milikovsky, okay? It says the charter ceremony on Thursday marked the formal launch of the Board of Peace, an initiative Trump has championed as a key part of his broader plan to resolve the conflict in Gaza. Okay, another word for conflict is war. Okay, in this case, it's really not war because the Palestinians aren't really fighting back. It's just a genocide. Okay, what they call ethnic cleansing. All right. It says here, the board is intended to bring together nations willing to support diplomatic efforts, reconstruction, and governance in the region following years of fighting and ceasefire negotiations. Right, because now that you've destroyed the land and destroyed the people of the land, now you don't want any interference. So now you want to talk about peace. Because now you don't want no one to come and interfere with these lavish hotels and resorts that you want to build over at the Gaza Strip. Okay? This is what these devils do, man. And the scriptures tell you that. Okay? The scriptures tell you that. Let's get that real quick in the book of Micah, chapter 2, and verse 2. I'll start from verse 1. It says, Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And according to what Jared Kushner was saying, right, that this plan has been, well, actually it was, this guy, shit. What's this guy's name? I'll see if I could find that video and put it in post-production so you could see the actual video. And you could see this guy look so uncomfortable, right? He looks stressed out. He's like, well, you're not supposed to say that. Like, he just looked stressed because the guy who was next to him basically spilled the beans like, yeah, we've had this master plan for the past 2 years. And then the interviewer was like, the past 2 years? So what you're trying to say is that this whole Gaza thing, the war and all that, you guys already had a plan before the war even started, before the October 7th attacks? Like, yeah, that's very interesting there, huh? Yeah. Once you realize, right, once you realize how these devils operate, you know, they're not really proliferate. They're not prolific, I should say, right? In terms of ideas or, you know, whatever. That's why it's so easy for us to crack their codes because they follow the same script. Okay. Now, the script that they've been following, everybody knows the script, or most people do. So now it's harder for them to push these agendas. That's why you're seeing them push for censorship, because people are communicating, waking other people up. We are waking people up. Okay? You got Jakes, regular Jakes that be in these so-called black communities on YouTube and all that, and they actually say, yo, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. It's a thing. It's a thing. Okay? They might not be in their right mind per se, but that vibration is going out there. You know what I'm saying? It's now a thing where Jake actually claimed to be Hebrew Israelites. Back then, like a decade ago, 2016, around there, You say, "Oh, I'm an Israelite." They look at you like, "You're what? An Israelite? What the fuck is that?" Oh, what you Kendrick Lamar? I'm an Israelite. Don't call me black no more. They'll make fun of you, right? Now it's a thing because people are studying, they're researching, it's making sense, and the spirit is overwhelming. You see, we are in the time of the truth, all right, flourishing as it's written in the book of Second Ezra, the 6th chapter. Okay, all the wickedness and the falsehoods, the lies being quenched. Okay, the truth is consuming all these lies and all these liars. Okay, all these strongholds are being broken down. All the falsehoods, the lies in history, it's all being reconstructed. Okay, everybody's minds are being reconstructed and being redirected back to the path of truth, whether they like it or yes. This is the reality. Okay, that's why you're seeing such a friction in the climate, because you have the powers of the left hand side versus the powers on the right hand side. Okay, and we've gotten to the point of an epic clash that's going to boil over, and it's going to become physical, to the point where the heavenly hosts are going to come down to fight against these devils, man. That's how far they're going to push it. Forget about, oh, we making war against the saints. Nah, they want to make war against the Heavenly Father, the Holy One of Israel. Okay, this is the pride of this devil, man. All right, and you got 2/3 of our people trying to defend these devils, man. Anyway, so going back to Micah chapter 2, verse 2, it says, "And they covered fields and take them by violence." Okay, everything that you've seen in the whole Gaza thing, it's all done by violence. It wasn't done by peaceful negotiations. Why didn't they come down to the table and talk about this peace, board of peace, before all this October 7th shit happened? Huh? Because that's not what this devil does. He's just a liar. Okay? The son of perdition, the man of sin. If you trust him, that's on you. Hey, it is what it is. Okay? So they take them by violence, and that's a track record of this devil, man. All right? He has a track record of committing genocide and violence against people and their lands for their resources. That's what this devil does. Okay? The so-called European, the so-called Europeans, the conquistadors, right? Just to name a few, that's their track record. You go into history and read about the so-called European track record, man. It's all about war. Okay? They love war, bloodshed. Read up on the Rothschilds and how much, how many wars did they funded over the years. Okay? There's a saying that says if I think there was one lady who said it. She's part of the Rothschild family. She said if one of the Rothschilds, or she said if my sons didn't want war, then there will be no war, something to that effect. Okay? So, man, they control everything. You see? And that control is being exposed, and that's where the problem is, because their power lies in secrecy. Okay? Their power lies in secrecy. That's why the Apostle Paul, all right, in 2 Thessalonians, all right, he talks about what? That the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Okay? The mystery of iniquity. That means when you go to the word mystery, mysterion, all right, goes into what? Secret. Okay? Something that is unknown, esoteric, something that's hidden. Okay? Something that's hidden. So when you expose that hidden thing, all right, well, the reason for it to be hidden, or the reason why it's hidden, is so it can conceal its power. Once it's exposed, the power is gone. Okay? That's why they don't want us talking about the things that they talk about. Especially when it comes to prophecy, going into the MOTB and so on and so forth. Okay? So continuing in Micah 2:2, it says, "And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage." Okay? So that's what you're seeing. And you don't think the Lord's going to have judgment against that type of shit? Huh? It says here, it says, "While a substantial number of leaders sign on, participation is not universal. Some prominent nations, including the United Kingdom, Canada, and France, have declined to join the board, citing concerns over its structure, mandate, or potential overlap with existing international institutions." Right, because what they're doing now is to overhaul the current, what they call the current world order. Right, that's this whole thing is all about a so-called new world order. Okay, everything you see is a board of peace and new trade partners and all these different things. It's all part of we need Greenland for national security reasons. It's just dumb, And Putin, clever nigga, man. Putin is a clever motherfucker. He said, basically, Trump had extended an invitation to him to join the Board of Peace, the so-called Board of Peace, right? And he responded back and he said, hey, you know, my people on this side, you know, we appreciate that you extending this offer. You know, basically, from what we know, we're like so much evil niggas when it comes to you guys' TV broadcasts. Russia this, Russian collusion, Russia, we're the bad guys. You know. But very interesting that you're approaching us for peace. Okay, you know, we decided we're gonna look more into what those peace deals that you're trying to sign and all this Board of Peace shit. We want to read more about it, right? We want to study up on it. We want to know exactly what's in here and so on and so forth. And you know, maybe after this, maybe we could look at you know, the whole Ukraine situation as well, because that's also something we should look at, right? If you want to talk about peace, we should go all the way with it, right? And you know, if you want some money to help with this whole Gaza thing and help the people, like you said, you're doing this for, right? You're going to be creating more jobs, right? You're going to be helping the people who are displaced and, you know, so on and so forth. That's great. Guess what? How about you take about, you know, maybe $1 billion or $1 trillion, something like that, some crazy number that he said. He said those are all frozen assets by the United States. Why don't you unfreeze those and use that to give to the people in Gaza for your so-called Board of Peace plan? How about that? And I fell out of my chair. I fell out of my chair. And I wasn't even sitting in the chair. I was sitting on my bed, but I fell out of my chair. Because when he said that shit, I said, man, boy, look at here. This nigga is smart as fuck. He just basically, in such a diplomatic, cool, smooth way, declined the offer from the United States. Okay? And why do you think that is? It's because the Lord is the one who's stirring up the minds of these kings to go to war. Okay? So for those, this is a spoiler alert. For those who don't watch our videos, you have no idea what prophecy, you know, time of prophecy we're in right now. Don't fall for the hype. Okay? Don't fall for the smoke screen, so to speak, about all this peace shit. Oh, the nations coming together. Trump talking about I stopped 8 wars and da-da-da. Listen, bruh, this ain't no peace on earth. This is the beginning of World War III. This is where you see America get destroyed by thermonuclear fire. Okay? So you could talk all that peace talk. Scriptures tell you, and we're going to get that, right? That's the main meal for the day. All right? So we're going to get that. But let's finish this. Let's continue this. It says, while substantial... Oh, we read that. Okay. It says, additionally, Russian President Vladimir Putin, that's very interesting, had not signed the charter, though discussions about Moscow's involvement were ongoing. Supporters of the Board of Peace see it as a new platform for fostering stability, rebuilding Gaza, and preventing further violence in the region by providing a multilateral framework for cooperation. And guess what? All the people on the Board of Peace, for the most part, if not all, I say most of them, okay, because I have to verify that, but most of them are all J's. That's easy to verify, okay? I don't think you have even 5 Palestinians on that Board of Peace. If this is really truly about some form of preventing some form of further violence, like they said, right? Providing multilateral frameworks, all this bullshit, right? For cooperation. That's what they said, or that's what they're saying. But yet, the people that you're supposed to be making a deal with, the people from Gaza, the Palestinians, so to speak, okay? Why are they not on the so-called Board of Peace? Huh? Why are they not on there? Like, at least equal. If it's going to be so-called Board of Peace, why can't it be 50-50, like half-half? But when you look at it, it's mostly J's that's on that Board of Peace, so-called Board of Peace, which means that there's going to be no peace. These niggas is not creatures of peace, man. And they will never stop until the Lord stops them. That's one thing people need to understand. Oh, why don't we talk about the international court and, you know, these are war crimes against this and, oh, the countries need to come together. I thought the UN was there to stop countries like Israel from... Listen, man. All right? Understand this. They have the power over the earth. They control all this shit. The UN was created by them for them, nigga. Like, you need to understand this, bro. All this bullshit that we've been taught in history and all this extra shit. Listen, man, you gotta climb out of that. Okay? And see things for what they really are. You got people on this earth who are the devil incarnate. And very soon you're gonna see it. Okay? They wear suits and tie, and give all these extravagant speeches about how life is going to be great if we allow them to do whatever the fuck they want to do, man. Talking about Bill Gates want to block out the sun. Like, what? You want to cut down more trees in the Amazon. You got one devil, proud ass demon. I forgot his name. He's so insignificant. Nigga popped up on the shit talking about, humans are gonna have to get used to eating lab grown shit, cause that's the only way. Like, who the fuck is you niggas, man? You got Elon Musk popping up on it, sounding stupid as all hell, talking about, I am an alien. Like, it's like these people, bro. Like, what world do these niggas come from? It's like you sit back and you watch the shit that they say and you hear the things that you just be like, wait. You know, this is what we got to deal with. These are the people who manage the earth. No wonder everyone is in a state of decay right now. No wonder everywhere you go is all hell. It's sadness, it's mourning. Nobody's happy. Everybody's on edge. Everything is stressful. Life is just hard as it is, right? And it's about to get even harder. They're talking about this winter that's coming, this winter storm, whatever, polar vortex, that shit is about to hit the northeast and pretty much the country, cross country, really, right? And I'm saying to myself, you got devils behind the scenes doing all this weather modification shit, all because what they want to create a state of panic, a state of crisis, okay? A state of need, a state of desperation, okay? How many states are going to be hit with such crazy weather that's going to cause a lot of power problems, right? A few years ago, you had this crazy ass snowstorm that hit Buffalo. They had issues over there. You had one that happened a few years ago back in, I believe it was downstate in Texas or something like that. And it was like, cars were like frozen and people were dying in their cars because they'll go inside their cars, turn the heat on and be breathing all that carbon monoxide, right? You know what I'm saying? Like houses, shit, people were frozen over. It was just bad. Cars getting crashed left and right because the roads are bad. Like, you see. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, how the Lord, pushes this. All right, so we can see. But man, look, man, we at that time, man. All right, we at that time. Even brothers was talking about it in the chat, like, we at that time. Any day now, you could see some shit pop off that's just gonna change everything quick. Okay? I used to think, man, it's gonna be one thing and then we're gonna wait and then another thing and then it's gonna add up and it's gonna build. Nah, bro. The way things are going, the Lord could literally get us up out of here within weeks. We're gonna be seeing things pop up, just like that. Weeks, man. Weeks. Okay? Prophecies are taking place like 100-fold in a day, 2 days, 3 days. You see things mad, like, oh shit, damn, like this country saying this, they saying this now, like damn, that escalated quickly. This one motherfucker Trump is just setting shit up on fire. Everywhere you go, it's just China got beef with this nigga. North Korea got beef with this nigga. Taiwan saying don't come over here. Nigeria getting mad at this nigga. Venezuela and all the neighboring countries are getting mad at this nigga. And then he start fucking around with Greenland. Now the fucking EU nations are getting mad at this nigga. So now it's like you're starting to see America, again, prophecy's taking shape beautifully. America is getting isolated now. She's starting to get isolated. She's coming off as all powerful. And if you don't bow down to me, I'm going to put tariffs on you and all this shit. When you're doing all this stuff, right, you're destroying peace. But yet you claim you're bringing peace when you do shit like that. Right? It's a hypocrisy. And remember, this devil is not made to bring peace. So they could call peace all they want. It's always going to end up in some type of turmoil and bloodshed. That's what's coming. Okay? And it's all a ruse. Okay? Because this time, where we're in right now, it's not a peaceful time. All right, scriptures talk about a time of war, a time of evil. How you going to call a time of war and a time of evil peaceful? Because you're the devil, that's why. Okay? Talk about using ice to go around into neighborhoods and shit and then call it peace. Anyway, let's keep going. It says here, critics, however, argue that the initiative lacks clarity on enforcement mechanisms and could challenge or complicate the role of established organizations like the United Nations. That's what they're trying to do. Okay, and I believe Trump said he's going to be like the head of the Board of Peace, right? It's going to have one, it's all great leaders, we're all coming together, right? But then there's going to be one nigga that's going to call all the shots ultimately, and he wants that to be him. It says the ceremony in Davos, framed by Trump as a step toward a more peaceful future for Gaza, underscores ongoing international efforts to address the long-standing conflict and chart a path forward through diplomatic engagement and shared commitments. Well, guess what? That's not going to work. Okay? That is not going to work. Let's get this real quick. All right, this is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety," right? Everything is peaceful. Everything is secure, right? We can all come together, cooperate, right? Build up a framework. This is peace for the future. You know, it's peace on earth. It's peace on earth, right? When they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Okay, so you keep buying into this bullshit. Talking about the data. Keep buying it. You're going to see. All right, because remember, the true data works against all you Americans. Okay, that's the true data. That this is, you're living in worse times than a recession. You just don't know it yet. The reality is showing it to you, but the government hasn't came out and told you. The news media hasn't popped up on the scene to force it down your throat. So everybody's chilling. You're not really paying no mind to it. Okay, you're suffering, but you're not really. It's called what they call it, cognitive dissonance, right? The reality is showing you one thing, but your mind is telling you, nah, everything is fine. We're gonna be all right. It's America. We're gonna get out of it. Until it's too late. When them troops is hitting, knocking on your doors. When you start seeing these robot dogs that don't look so goofy no more because they got a fucking gun on top of their head and it's pointed at you, that's when you're gonna start getting serious. That's when people are gonna start getting serious. But it's gonna be too late. Okay? Well, you can't go on the internet to talk your shit. Huh? You can't be talking shit to no strangers at that point. You can't be calling somebody a fucking internet idiot because they don't believe in your data. Right? So all these people, listen, they coming for you niggas. Okay? When you comment on our videos, they coming for you. Whether it's positive or negative, they're coming for you. Now, see, if you're of the elect, you protected, you good. They can come for you all they want. The Lord's going to protect you where you're not going to be guided. But if you're not of the elect, anyway, so going back to, actually, you know what? Let me get this one last precept here. I don't want to ramble too much more. Let's get this real quick. All right, because this is the devil for you. Okay. Let's see here. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20 says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, right? So they try to flip the truth to make it seem like it's a hateful message, right? Isaiah tells you that that make a man an offender for the word. Okay, that's this devil for you. Okay, setting up the stage to make it seem like what we're preaching is hate. Meanwhile, all we're doing is bringing out truth, facts. Okay, highlighting the things that they do and the things that they do and don't do. Okay, the things that they do, which is all wicked. The things that they don't do, which is all righteous. They don't do that. It's not in them to do that. And by highlighting it, now all of a sudden, you've heard the phrase or the name Amalek. I've heard the name Amalek being used by Netanyahu. All right, Milikowski. He used that word Amalek, but he used it in a deceptive way. He and his people are Amalek. Okay? He and his people are Amalek, but he made it seem like the Palestinians are Amalek, and therefore they have the right, according to biblical prophecy, the promises that the Lord gave the children of Israel, that we have the right to go in there and destroy all of Amalek. That's the prophecy. You will not listen. That's just what the beef that the Lord has with Amalek. Scripture says, well, I will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Right? So they know that. They know that. They know that. They just don't want you to know that. But too bad, the prophets are here. The prophets are here. That's a tough wall to go through, man. The prophets, shit. Look, go talk to Jezebel and them. Go talk to Ahab about Elijah. Okay? And the prophets of Baal that were serving at that time and what Elijah did to them in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay? And we're in the stead of Elijah today. So you devils got bigger problems, man. Way bigger problems. Especially with Yahushai. Every now and again I talk about that Black Jesus story because that's coming. All right, we always talk about, listen, man, that's coming. What do you think spiritual power is all about? Okay, that story is about the depiction of spiritual power. Imagine disassembling somebody, chopping him up, putting him in a box case. You know how Esau does, right? Frozen shit, some clear glass. You know, you need like all kinds of different lock keys to open it. And then he puts it in different parts of the world. And then the person assembles and it comes right back to DC and says, I want to have a meeting with you. Yeah, yup, that's me. You chop me up, threw me all over the world. Yeah, your desire for me not to be here is very strong, but guess what? In the future, there's going to be men that are going to be just like me. They're going to be just like me. And they're going to be out here, and they're going to spawn. And there's going to be so many of them, you can't stop them. And they're going to come in here, and they're going to topple all your shit, nigga. Just like that. Take all over your shit. And there's nothing you can do about it. You're going to see your little, stupid little kingdom crumble just like that. And you're going to remember the words of the prophets. Okay, let's get that real quick. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 18. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, okay, take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Okay, so to take means what? To acquire. You take it with force. All right, this is my shit now. All right, we're going to take over. All right, and possess it, meaning hold it, occupy it. Okay, you want to talk about a board of peace? No more, no more. Okay, we're going to lay hold of that, man. We're going to control all of this. It's a takeover, a Jakeover. Okay, so that's what's coming. All right, that's what's coming. But let's finish off in Isaiah 5. All right, Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20 says, woe to them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Okay, woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight, right? So all this Davos meeting shit, that's the counsel of the wicked right there. Okay, all the shit that they're discussing is all wicked shit. No matter how they present it, it's all wicked shit. Okay, and it's all going to be done in wicked means. When niggas is talking about, replacing humans with machines, come on, bro. Come on, man. It sounds like a joke now. Okay, but when it's being implemented and you're actually suffering the consequences of it, it never appears like what they said it was going to be. Okay? When they said it was, trust the science, but then trust the science becomes so burdensome. It's like, yo, you're losing your job because you don't trust the science. Like, bro, I thought this was good. Why are we suffering bad for something that you said was good? Right? It doesn't make sense. It never makes sense. It's not supposed to make sense. Okay? So that all those who are under that strong delusion that the Lord's going to put on them, they're going to be taken by that shit. Okay, that's why Yahushua said, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. But it's not possible. Okay, it's not possible. All right? But yeah, just wanted to bring that out real quick. This devil is talking about a board of peace. The prophecies tell you that when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. All right, so we're going to see, how this plays out, what comes out of it. Okay, but we do know, all right, we do very well know that we are at the precipice of, all right, a cataclysmic event that changes everything moving forward. Okay, we're talking financial, health, all right, life in general as a whole, everything. All right, so just be on the lookout. All right, we're going to keep watching. And of course, most importantly, keep praying. Okay, keep praying, especially in these times. You keep praying. All right. So anyway, I'm ended off there, Lowell, and you edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachak Kodash, the water Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai. Until next time, Shalom.
Embassy. I think we had about 80 or 90 countries with whom we had diplomatic relations. Now the number is 160, and there are very few countries left. By the way, what are we doing with Greenland? We got to do something with Greenland. Where's my advanced team? Go to Greenland. They must have some satellite needs or something we could do there. But we are coloring the world blue.